As you guys remember, last week we cut the quarter panel out, went ahead and fit the new one in, and put it in with a few tack welds just to hold it in place. So we said that this week we were going to go ahead and work on replacing that rear bumper filler panel, and we were going to get that welded in so that we could finish welding out the quarter panel. So that being said, first thing we're going to do is work on that rear bumper filler, and then we'll come in and we'll finish welding out this quarter panel, and maybe go ahead and put a couple of patches in these doors. We'll just have to see kind of how things go. But yeah, lots to do, so we better get to work. Here we go. I just want to say that I grossly underestimated how difficult this was going to be, and that there are a whole lot more spot welds than I thought there were. I'm having to drill each individual one of these out in order to get this thing out of here. So I thought I had most of them, and then it's like the more I dig, the more of them I find. So things are not pretty right now, but we're going to keep working at it, keep prying, keep drilling, keep prying, keep drilling until we get this thing out. Once we get this thing out, then the easy part starts, putting the other one back. So, okay, so I did this off camera, but you were warned. This is not pretty at all. But I realized that I was wasting a lot of time because the floor's rotten, so I'm cutting it out anyway, and it's being replaced with aluminum. So I decided that I was just going to go ahead and cut all of that out, and it would give me easier access to this rear bumper filler. Also, I realized that this top piece that was welded here is a separate seam, or a separate piece. It's not all one panel that's back here. So I was wasting time there as well. So I've started cutting out bits of rust so that I could access this. And so basically now I'm almost to the point where I have to figure out how I'm going to cut the actual panel itself out, because I've cut the floor, things like that. I'm going to brace that up with some square tubing. So a few things I'm looking at, working on right now. But it's a very, very time consuming process, and it's taking forever. But we're going to keep going and get done what we can get done. So yeah, I know it's not pretty, don't laugh at me, we're trying. And the camera died, and so yeah, but finished cutting the taillight panel out, and it's still not pretty, but we're going to go ahead and clean that on up. I've got the replacement panel kind of stuck in there right now, but it's not fitted or anything like that. It's just kind of hanging out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this thing up in there. I'm going to, like I said, clean things up, and I'm going to get this thing up in there and hold it in place with sheet metal screws just like I did with the quarter panel, and get an idea of where it's going to fit. And then that way I can pull it back off, drill my spot weld, and go ahead and get it spot welded in. But anyway, I way underestimated how difficult it was going to be on this car. I've done them on Novas, and I did one on a Camaro, but this was a whole different ball game. This was tough. So anyway, Could be something to do with the fact that it was a race car and already gutted, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep going with this, try to get this thing fitted in, and hopefully be to the point of welding it tonight. If not, I'll do it in the morning. But anyway, we're going to do the best we can. So, bear with us. Let's keep rolling. So finally, the tail panel is held in with sheet metal screws and is actually in where I can test fit it. So now what I need to do now is I'm going to check the fit with the trunk lid and with the rear bumper. So I'm going to try to mount the bumper best I can. I'm actually going to have to fabricate some mounts because this is a fiberglass bumper. So I'm going to mount it best I can and then check the fit and make some adjustments from there before I weld anything. Like I said, may not be welding tonight, maybe wait until tomorrow morning. But we're going to test fit, see what happens. I do have the factory bumper, so if I have too much trouble trying to get this fiberglass one to fit and test the fit, then I'll just grab the factory one and we'll go from there. But anyway, yeah. Alrighty, so you guys see that I ended up going with the factory bumper because the fiberglass bumper just didn't fit well at all. And also my patience is about this long when it comes to building brackets for the thing. So I think I'm just going to stick with the factory bumper. My game plan, I'm going to utilize the factory mounts. There's two here and I'm going to use the two on the bottom. Probably going to weld these holes up here, and there's one over here as well. So that takes like a button head type bolt. Probably not going to use that. Probably just going to go ahead and do away with those, weld those up, because the chrome and everything on this bumper is not in good shape anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and sand these and color match them to the car. So that's not going to be a problem. So I'm just going to do away with those. But anyway, yeah, you guys can see we have a really good fit here on the quarter panel. The bumper lines up nice. Needs a little bit of adjustment, but nothing crazy. On the sides here, where it comes against the quarter panel, I'm going to have to push the bottom in and bolt the brackets at the bottom. I'm also going to have to take the passenger side quarter panel loose from the tail panel that I put in and screwed in place, and adjust the bottom side of it out a little bit so that it matches the bumper, because the bumper sticks out a little bit past it because it's pulled in. So once we do that, I'll be able to weld this thing in place and we'll be done with that. So yeah, it was it was a ride getting here, and it was a lot of work. I didn't realize it was going to be that difficult on this car, but we got here. So gonna get all that stuff welded up, and then I picked up the aluminum today to be able to build the trunk floor and all of that. So we're gonna be able to finish all of that out. But we are getting really, really close to being able to actually start on the body work on this car. But pretty content with the fit for tonight. Gonna call it a night tonight. I'll get back out here tomorrow, make the adjustments that I have to make, and we'll get this thing welded in place, finish welding out the quarter panel, and yeah, we'll be way down the road from where we started. So anyway, gonna call it a night tonight, guys, and I'll see you guys back in the morning. All right, guys, I'm back out here this evening. I said I was gonna get back out here today and adjust this quarter panel to match the bumper like I needed to, so that I could tack this taillight panel in place.
So I'm not feeling the best today, but figured I'd get out here and at least get that far. So I'll get that adjusted out and get everything tacked, and then I'm going to call it a week on this car for this week until we get back on next week. So anyway, I'm not going to drag this out. I'm going to pull this bumper off and adjust the quarter panel out, put the bumper back on, and then put a couple of tack welds so that I can go in the house and be done for the day. So, yeah. I have the fit pretty much like I want it now, so we're just gonna roll with it. So fixing to put in a few tack welds, spot welds to hold this thing in place permanently. Gonna do everything except for the water strip channel right here. I'm gonna have to straighten that stuff out and weld it in, but anyway, not really gonna spend any more time on this. I'm gonna get welded in and get ready to call it a night. So. When you saw me go crazy with the Sawzall and cut the floor out, cut the taillight panel out, all that stuff, I wouldn't have done that had I been actually restoring this car, but this car is getting aluminum flooring in the trunk, so all that needed to come out anyway, so we just chopped it out with the Sawzall. Quicker, easier, got it done. Wanted to weld the quarter panel this week, didn't get to do that, but we'll do that next week and we'll start body work. Next week we're also going to have to go ahead and frame in the trunk floor to get ready for the aluminum. So yeah, a lot to do next week, but next week we'll put Hunter to work grinding down some welds, and I'll finish welding the quarter panel and we'll start some body work. So appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging with us. This has been one more job. So I know it was kind of probably a boring episode, but it's all right. We'll get some more done next week. And got a lot of parts coming in over the next few days, so hopefully next week we'll get to fire this thing up for the first time. So that's another thing to be looking forward to. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we post. Leave us a comment. You guys engaging with the videos is what helps grow the channel and to help other people see the videos. So yeah, make sure you interact, and we appreciate you guys again. We'll see you next week. Deuces.